We begin today with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO. They are speaking out, concerned about the low rate of vaccinations across Latin America and the Caribbean. As of now, only or about 75% of people in those regions not fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, PAHO's director says more than a third of countries in that region have yet to vaccinate 20% of their populations and said the coverage is even lower in some places. She also said PAHO is working to get developed countries to donate vaccines to Latin America and the Caribbean, and is also using its revolving fund to ensure vaccines for member states.
Vaccination rates remain in the teens in several Caribbean and South American countries, and coverage is still in the single digits in Central American nations like Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Not to mention Haiti and Venezuela, where fragile health systems and political challenges have further delayed immunizations. We need to deliver an additional 540 million doses to ensure that every country in the Americas can cover at least 60% of their population. So we must expand vaccine access in our region, especially in the places that are lagging behind.
As she also said, PAHO has already received requests from 24 countries for vaccines, which they're hoping will be available in the final quarter of this year and into 2022. And yeah, the Delta variant is forcing companies, both big and small, to delay return to office plans. Many of the tech industry's biggest companies that were first to shut down offices at the start of the pandemic are now joining the growing list of tech giants delaying plans to go back. Mandy Gaither explains.
The Delta variant surge putting return to office plans on hold.
The Delta variant is shifting the conversation away from we must get back to work to, oh my gosh, we have to think really critically about what work means now.
Consultant Amber Cabral says many of her clients are on wait-and-see mode as tech giants join the growing list of companies pushing their plans months into the future. Google and Uber moving their return date to October. Facebook, Amazon, and Apple delaying a return to corporate offices until at least January. Lyft pushing the return even further to February. Cabral says managers are counting on employees to be patient and flexible.
That this isn't just a conversation about, what's going on with the Delta variant. It's also a conversation about people modifying their lives. You've got the folks that were eager to get back that are really frustrated. And then you have the folks that are like, great, because I wasn't ready to go back into the office.
The delay is giving managers more time to encourage or in some cases mandate vaccines. And with some industries facing labor shortages, employers say they don't want to lose anyone over mandates or force them back to the workplace too soon. But with about 18 months out of the office, some workers aren't yet ready to give up the flexibility, comfort, and safety of working from home.
I'm producing more work. I can be held accountable virtually. I don't actually need to be physically in the office.
Well, the death toll from Hurricane Ida continues to rise. More than 4 dozen deaths have been confirmed in the U.S., from the Gulf Coast all the way up to New England, and most of them after the storm had weakened from hurricane status. Just really highlights the power of Mother Nature. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
Much of the northeastern U.S. is cleaning up after getting walloped by the remnants of Hurricane Ida.
We saw a horrifying storm last night, unlike anything we have seen before.
The storm dumped upwards of 10 inches of rain on parts of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut on Wednesday night and Thursday morning. More than half a foot fell in a matter of hours.
It's not waves off the ocean or the sound. It is flash floods coming from the sky. It was literally Niagara Falls here.
In New York City, roads are still a mess. There are lines of washed out cars along the highways. The heavy rains caught many off guard and it trapped some drivers.
A Connecticut state trooper died when his police cruiser was swept away by water. Others drowned at home when water inundated basement apartments.
This is one of the most difficult storms that I've seen in my 30 years since Hurricane Sandy.
Twisters touched down in Maryland and in New Jersey, prompting the National Weather Service to issue its first ever tornado emergency for the Northeast. Last night, President Biden declared federal disasters in New York and New Jersey. That clears the way for FEMA to assist in the recovery and cleanup efforts.
Hurricane Ida didn't care if you were a Democrat or a Republican, rural or urban. Its destruction is everywhere.
The president will travel to Louisiana today to get a first-hand look at the damage the storm caused when it made landfall there on Sunday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Well, it's been more than 70 days since the tragic condominium collapse in Surfside, Florida, the tragedy that claimed the lives of 98 people, including many Puerto Ricans. Well, Carrie Sanders has the remarkable story of one family who lived through it.
Whoever thinks a building's gonna collapse on you, you just never. I'm sorry. Half the building's gone!
In just 12 seconds at around 1:30 a.m., the 136-unit condo collapsed.
I remember Mom yelling run and dragging me out of bed.
Angela, Devin, and her father Edgar had been watching a late-night horror movie in the master bedroom. All were laying in the same bed when...
It just felt like an earthquake.
Angela, 45 years old, says a split second before the floor began to give way, she heard what she thought was thunder.
I just screamed, run. We made it maybe right out of our bedroom, maybe a couple steps right out of our bedroom, and then the floor just started to cave.
Their condo was on the 9th floor. Devin fell with the building 5 stories. Her mother on debris slightly above. Devin's left leg was crushed. Her femur snapped, but she was able to scream for help.
Is anybody down there injured?
Rescue teams eventually reached Devin and then her mother, who'd been knocked unconscious. Older sister Taylor had been out. She rushed home to find a cloud of concrete dust and chaos.
They told me that if they were on that side of the building, there wasn't going to be any survivors. So that was a very difficult night.
Taylor eventually found her sister and mother in the hospital. Angela was in a coma for 5 days. She came out of it on her birthday and then learned her husband Edgar had not survived.
And he was my best friend. He was my person.
I didn't get to say goodbye, but a lot of people have said that saying goodnight and I love you and I see you in the morning was a lot better than a goodbye, because it's like, I'll see you later. And I'm glad I had that.
The family lost all their possessions except for Edgar's wedding ring, recovered from his body.
We have this thing that every week, each of us get it. I got it for the first week of school. It's going to be Taylor's turn on Monday, and then after Taylor, it's Mom, and we all just wear it.
Each week we share it, yeah.
Angela faces a long road, but doctors say she should walk again.
You want me to take a step?
The Gonzalez family says they now hope federal investigators can determine why this happened.
I want to know why my husband lost his life. I want to know why they don't have their father. I have my daughters, so I have something to look forward to, but I know there's other mothers there that have lost, you know, a husband or a child, and it's just not okay. It's not okay.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, on to a Puerto Rican artist. He's been selected by Richard Branson's cruise ship line, Virgin Voyages, to decorate what they assured is the most modern cruise in the world. Gonna decorate it all with his artwork. Our Christian Ramos met up with him for this story.
Puerto Rican artist Alexis Diaz has built an international presence with murals around the world, but now his career has gone to another level after being selected by Virgin Voyages to decor the walls of their new cruise ship.
Hello and welcome to our cruise ship tour and review of Virgin Voyages' first ship, Scarlet Lady. Scarlet Lady really is a one-of-a-kind ship compared to anything that's been done before in the cruise market.
This has been an incredible experience. 2 years ago, I received an email from the agency in charge of the interior design of the Scarlet Lady, inviting me to create 5 pieces for the cruise ship. I accepted the invitation because it was an opportunity to express my art differently. It has been a blessing for my career.
una bendición.
My murals now decor a tattoo shop, a convenience store, an ice cream parlor, a bar, and the most extensive deck of the boat, which has the largest painting and measures about 55 feet. All of them integrate the concept of marine animals.
Uno de los más complicados que he hecho en mi vida. El barco se construyó en Génova, Italia.
It was a challenge and perhaps the most complicated one of my entire career. The cruise ship was built in Italy, and when we started to paint the murals, it was under construction, nor close to being finished. There was no water, no electricity, it was full of hundreds of builders. We were supposed to complete the pieces in a month and a half, but then came the pandemic and we returned to Puerto Rico. They stopped the work for a year and a half, but we went this year to London to finish the paintings. The boat was already completed this time.
Mi sueño y estar en otro medio distinto.
It feels awesome. I had always wanted my art to reach all possible places and inspire and delight as many people as possible. This platform is totally different from what I have done in the past, and I am very grateful for that.
Pero ya está una cosa completamente distinta y la oportunidad de participar también de un diseño como tal. Yo espero que me siga abriendo puertas.
Alexis told us that it was his work in London what captured the attention of Virgin executives, and actually he's now in negotiation for a second collaboration. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Cristian Ramos.
Christian, thanks. Wow, what amazing work on that ship.